All right, today I want to just use the platform to share positive news, positivity. I want to say, like, one of the things I struggle with is trust and obey. Trusting and obeying the Lord to do what He says He will do. This video it has faced so many back and forth. I've recorded it 3 times, it failed. I'm recording it again, seeing where it goes. But positivity needs to be pushed out today because there's so much evil going on. And I don't know what the case is. But what I want to share first and foremost is that looking back in my life, God has prevented so much from happening that I never knew that could have been the case. And I want to say thanks to that. And someone out there looking back will see that there's so much to give thanks for and be grateful for. And then just remember that God is in control. Regardless of what you feel, what you do, He is in control today and forevermore. Continue to trust and obey what He says. For me, I've always trusted Him because I've seen what He's prevented me from and what He has done with what I think I wanted versus what He gave. And I'm like, it's always a trade up, it's never a trade down. And even though I didn't understand it in the moment, He has blessed me in ways that I couldn't have thought or imagined. And I want to give thanks for that. And I encourage somebody else to give thanks for that because you never know what He prevented you from until it's a case like years later you realize, like, wow, He really looked out for me. He really had my back in that moment. And then the next part is trust and obey. Trusting Him, I've always done. Obeying, I've not always moved at the right time or when He has said to move. But I trust that whatever God has in store for me is better than what I think I need. One of the prayer prompts I've been reading last week was that He granted me, He provides things you didn't even know to ask for. And I look at that and I'm like, wow, imagine I asked for this, but I didn't know I needed this to go along with it. And He has provided that because of His grace and mercy. And I say, with that, I trust Him totally. But at the same time, obeying is the big factor. And we need to obey just as much as we trust because His word says obedience is more than sacrifice. Sometimes He has prompted me to do this or that, but I have not acted in the same time or in His timeline. Today I'm saying act in His timeline. If you face opposition, as with this video, keep going because His word needs to get out and there's a reason why He's putting it on your heart. And then you know the feeling you get when you don't do what He says when you should do it. Or you know the feeling of, if only I'd done this earlier, I would be living in the blessings that I was praying for. All of that makes a difference. And I say to whoever is watching this that God has bigger plans for your life than you can have for your life. Whatever you think, it can be better, 10 times better, 100 times better. But trust and obey that His leading will never lead you wrong, and His leading is always for the best. You may be in a difficult time.